Hey everyone, the one and only here, coming to you yet again, only this time covering one of Apple's most popular devices. Yes sir, this isn't no surprise. You saw the thumbnail, you read the title. We're gonna dissect and discuss in detail what is new about the brand new refreshed 2019 MacBook Air. If you watched my previous videos before, you know that the 12-inch MacBook was sadly axed. A little foreshadowing there. You'll see what I mean. And I was actually quite sad. I loved the footprint and design of it so much and wish they would have given it at least a processor upgrade. But here we at least have the MacBook Air, which is just as thin and just as portable. Many people have a lot of questions on what is new here and whether they should upgrade or not, so sit tight and get ready to dive straight into this review. Cue the intro. The new 2019 MacBook Air in all of its glory, packaged in the iconic minimalistic white Apple box. We have a profile of the device front and center, showcasing just how thin this computer is, as well as Apple logos and MacBook Air branding on the sides, and on the back, we have serial number information as well as laying down the specs of exactly which MacBook Air configuration you have. Now to make this unboxing super easy, I brought my trusty little battle axe here to help me with this unboxing, so here we are. Really smooth and simple, like butter. Take off the plastic wrapping and open up the box and you'll be presented with the beautiful MacBook Air just chilling there, waiting for you to undress it. But we're gonna hold off for now and set that off to the side because your MacBook Air can wait as we dig to see the other components of the box. We've seen this before, nothing has changed here. We have our travel adapter that unplugs and folds to more easily store or to switch out the connector if you're traveling to a country with a different wall plug, our warranty and information guide, and the ultra coveted, highly sought after Apple stickers, as well as our USB-C to USB-C cable used to charge and sync your device. Now, we can get back to unwrapping our sexy MacBook Air. Oh yeah. So yeah, take off the plastic and voila, there she is. You do have this protective little film over your screen to protect it during shipment. That is very easy to take off, and that's it. That was your unboxing. So now going over what has remained the same. Externally, at first glance, nothing has changed. We have the same all aluminum body design in your choice of silver, space gray, or gold. The gold is that brassier gold and not the old gold, nor the rose gold. It's like a happy medium. Our keyboard appears the same, but is actually now the 4th generation butterfly keyboard that now sports that new material, so hopefully this fixes the keyboard issues countless of users had experienced before with the 2018 MacBook Air, which sported the 3rd generation keyboard. We have no touch bar, but arguably that's a good thing. However, we do sport the Touch ID sensor, which proves very useful to easily unlock your device on the fly. Towards the bottom, we have our very large and beautiful glass trackpad, and flanking the keyboard both to the left and right, we have our stereo speakers, which are actually pretty decent. Our gorgeous 13.3 inch retains the same resolution and pixel density, but now sports True Tone technology that allows the computer to change up how warm the display looks depending on your location. It's a neat technology that I enjoy very much and reduces blue light eye strain from being that prevalent, which is always a plus. We do also have our super weak 720p camera here in case you're into making a lot of FaceTime calls on your MacBook. Lastly, on the top, we have our same brushed mirror finish Apple logo on the top. Only 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports on the left, which may cause a minor annoyance if you're like many people who occasionally need to charge their computer and have your wall plug on the right side, but there are no Thunderbolt 3 ports on the right side, and now you have to either wrap it around or change up your setup temporarily to charge. Minor annoyance? Would I say nitpicky? I don't know, maybe. You decide. Our 3.5mm headphone jack on the right, and lastly, our 4 rubber feet here on the bottom to help stabilize and keep our MacBook Air in place while typing. Internally, not much actually changed, but Apple did try to pull a quick one on us that recently came to light. I'll brush up on it later. The processor is an 8th gen 1.6 GHz dual-core Intel Core i5 Y series processor that boosts up to 3.6 GHz. This is actually the only processor you can get with very little in the way of configuration. You can upgrade your RAM to 16 GB and also upgrade your SSD, which I would highly recommend at least upgrading to a 256 GB SSD minimum. But that's it on configuration, you're stuck with only that chipset. So Apple makes it very simple for you on the Air lineup. Increase RAM and or increase storage, and that's it. This chip actually runs 5 watts lower than the previous 2018 version, so it should save you a tiny bit on battery and help improve cooling efficiency very slightly. This sports the same 2-core design here as a 2018 and proves to be lackluster on anything multi-core related like editing and exporting video, especially in 4K, and even hooking this thing up to an additional 4K monitor will give you less than stellar performance since the 2 cores just can't handle too much at one time. I ran some Geekbench tests and found very slight increases to performance on both the single core and multi-core side, which signal minuscule performance gains, if any at all. What I was more interested in is seeing how thermal throttling would be since it does run on 5 watts less power, so I ran a Cinebench test, known for cranking up those fans, and used Intel's Power Gadget tool to measure the temperature while also keeping a close eye on any thermal throttling. As you can see, the frequency kinda averaged and hovered at about 2.4 GHz on both machines and were essentially neck and neck the entire time, basically meaning any performance hypothesis is basically inconclusive, and you can expect to get eerily similar results from the last 2018 model. Makes sense though, since processor wise, nothing really changed. Let's also not forget that the Air also features their T2 security chip, which could essentially just help in privacy, performance, and battery management. So in terms of performance, you're not really getting much improvements here. The improvements to the chipset are so minor it's almost negligible, and would say do not upgrade if you already picked up the previous year's model. However, remember I said Apple tried to pull a quick one on us? Well, it turns out after running various other tests, upon performing the read and write speed test, we can clearly see that the SSD on the new 2019 version is actually slower. Now hold on, put your pitchforks down. This doesn't mean the SSD is crippled, not at all. It's just a slight hit to speed, which will equate in applications or other files opening maybe a fraction of a second slower. While it is a low blow that Apple did that to us, I assume it was a cost-effective measure to bring down the price, which leads me to my next point. The new 2019 also has a new price tag feature. Yes sir, the price was bumped down surprisingly by a whole $100. It's insane. So now, the Air is the most affordable laptop made by Apple, coming in at $1,099. But wait, there's more, it gets better. If you're a college student, or life hack, if you still happen to have your old university or college ID, you can get an additional discount, bringing the total price of the Air down to $999. You ain't gonna believe this, it gets even better. If you're a student, as of July 2019, you can also snag yourself a free pair of Beats Studio 3s, which I've reviewed before, with your purchase of a qualifying MacBook. I'm actually not quite sure if this applies to international Apple stores, but I know for sure it does here in the US. My international folk, let me know in the comments below if this promotion is available in your country. So not only was the price dropped, but as a student you also get a 20% discount on Apple Care Plus for your shiny new $1,000 investment, so act now. Man, I should be a salesman for Apple, and before you ask, no, sadly, I'm not sponsored by Apple. Sad facts, I know. So look, with all the changes being made, should you upgrade from your 2018 MacBook Air? Absolutely not. Unless you just have to have True Tone, then I'm no one to tell you how to blow your money, but just don't do it. If you're coming from the older style non-Retina Air, then yes, absolutely, this would be a smart purchase, especially knowing you'll get a free pair of Beats thrown in there for the free, my guy. Apple's MacBook Air is iconic and is one of their most beloved products, and I'm glad Apple is finally showing their Macs a little more love. While this update was very minor, the MacBook Air is currently the ultimate portable Mac that is the best choice for the majority of people. It handles basic tasks exceptionally well and has the highest rated battery for web browsing of all MacBooks. My battery drain test did prove though that processor heavy tasks ultimately took a bigger toll on it than say the Pro models, but if you're not going to ever touch any kind of professional application and solely need this for school or web browsing, then pick this bad boy up now. The Air is the perfect MacBook for the average user, and you will fall in love with how easy and intuitive it is to use a MacBook. Additionally, as of the current lineup, the Air is the portable king, weighing nearly 3 pounds or 1.25 kilograms, and at its thickest point is only 0.61 inches or 1.56 centimeters. so sticking this in a bag is so effortless and so simple. I would recommend buying a case for your new shiny investment though. There are hundreds of cheap cases on Amazon, but I personally dig the official leather sleeves Apple offers, and just an FYI, the 13-inch Pro sleeve works perfectly for the Air as well. It fits like a glove and protects the all-aluminum body while you put it in a book bag or put it in your carry-on bag while traveling. Well guys, that's been my review for Apple's newly refreshed MacBook Air. There wasn't much to it. Whether a huge redesign or a small spec bump though, I like to inform you guys on everything that has changed and whether I think it's a good idea to upgrade or not. You know I always keep it real with you guys. If you found this video useful, please consider subscribing and follow me on social media to stay in the loop with polls and channel updates. There's more to come as I still have the entry-level 13-inch Pro to review, so stay tuned and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.